Hello everyone and welcome. I am excited to make this video. This is the Everything I Have Ever Colored 2020 update, which means I'm going to show you every single thing that I've colored in 2020 and in the previous years. These are some of my favorite videos to watch and make. I love seeing just like everything that's been done in each book, and also just like the progress of colorists and stuff like that. So I'm gonna also, sorry for the lighting. I'm filming at night and the room that I am in has very soft lighting, so I have a lamp to hopefully help a little bit. But anyways, this might be a really long video, so you might want to grab a snack and something to color because we're gonna be here for a while. So I wanted to start off with the PDFs that I've colored, and all of these are from this year. I was amazed at how much I got colored this year with everything that happened. At the beginning of the year I had zero energy and didn't really have much coloring mojo, and then right when I started getting it back I had a baby, and then we moved, and yeah, just the whole year has been crazy. So I think everybody is excited to see 2021. Hopefully it will be a much better year for sure. But anyways, sorry for the long intro, but I will just get right into it. So, but anyways, I was just amazed at how much I did color. This one is from Patreon. It's a Patreon image by a Korean artist. She goes by White, but she currently has her Patreon paused, which I think she has some life stuff going on, so that's just really sad. But I love this picture so much. I think it's very cute, whimsical, and fun, and it was so fast to color. I used alcohol marker and then Prismacolors, and the background is kind of funny because my alcohol marker started running out, and if you look really closely you can see it's really blotchy. So I was like, oh my gosh, this looks awful. How am I gonna fix it? So I added all of these dots and to kind of distract the eye from the imperfect background. So, and I think it adds to the playfulness of the picture. Anyways, I think that's really cute. And then I have some pictures that I colored from Sherry Baldy. And all of these are, pretty much all of them are alcohol marker based as well with Prismacolor. I loved the colors in this one, in her outfit, the blue and the pink. I just think it's cute. And then same with this one. I love the contrast between her maroon outfit and the green cabbage. This one is actually Inktense with, there's some Prismacolor for the shading in the hair, and then also in the flowers, I believe. Everything else is Inktense. I wanted to try it out on this paper, and just to like let you know, so the paper that I use is just the basic 120 pound paper that you get at Walmart, so nothing super fancy. I know there's way better stuff out there, but this is what I have. And I make it work. So this is another one by Sherry Baldy. This was really fun to come up with color combos. I love how her hair turned out, and just super cute. Alright, so now on to Jeremiah Kettner. He's also known as Small and Round. This is, I know this was a Patreon image. I'm not sure. It is probably on his Etsy as well. This is one that I downloaded and colored digitally in Procreate, and oh my goodness, it was so fun. So much fun. And I love how it turned out. So I printed it out so that I could have a physical version of what I colored. I just love the color scheme and the textures. It just makes me really happy. This is another one by Jeremiah Kettner. This is alcohol marker with Prismacolor on top. It's really fun to do the bright colors and the texture in the background. And then we have, this is from Annie's Coloring on Etsy. I think it's her Mythical Women Volume 2. Oh, Mythical Women Volume 1. It's this mermaid, and I loved coming up with a color scheme for this. I really like to come up with some things that are unconventional, and just experiment and see if it works, and I think in this case it did. I have a couple where it's not so successful, and you'll see those later. And then this is a picture that I did by a French artist. She is releasing a fairy tale coloring book, and this is her Snow White, and her name is escaping me at the moment, but she let me color this as a promotional thing for her book coming out, so this was really fun to do. And then I have a picture that I did from Ikuko, one of his books. I bought a PDF of it on Etsy, and I can't remember his Etsy shop name. It's something a little out there. I can't remember, but this is alcohol marker for the hair and the flowers, and I did the shading with Prismacolors, and I did the skin with Prismacolors, which I don't really think it worked very well because it's grayscale and it kind of came out muddy, so I think in the future I'll base it and then add shadows with something else. So yeah, but I think it still turned out cute. And then some Hannah Lynn pictures that I did from her PDFs. This is from her storybook Darlings, or Fairy Tale Bar. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but this is one of the first PDFs of hers that I bought a couple of years ago, and I finally printed it off this year. But this is, I love this picture. This is Wendy from Peter Pan. I added glitter to the moon, and I used alcohol marker for her hair and to base everything, and then I shaded with Prismacolors, and I just think it turned out very soft and pretty, which I really liked. And then this is also from that same coloring book by Hannah Lynn. This is Rumpelstiltskin story, and this is her before the straw gets spun into gold, and she's sitting there like, oh my goodness. But I loved doing the color scheme for this one as well, just like the bright bold colors. And then here's another Hannah Lynn. This one I did for my November hashtag, and this is from her Whimsy Girls at Work coloring book. I did alcohol marker for a lot of things, and then shaded with Prismacolors, and I think it turned out really cute. I colored this like how I would look on a typical day. I wear lots of florals, and then this is my son hanging onto my leg, and that was really fun to work on. And then I have a couple pictures by Mystic Art Mirrors. I was on, going back and forth. Should I buy her a fairy tale book or not? Fairy Tale Princesses. I can't remember the exact name of it. Should I buy it? Should I not? I finally decided just to do it, and fell in love very quickly and wondered why it took me so long to do so. But I saw Tinkerbell. When I saw this picture of Tinkerbell, I knew exactly what colors I wanted to use, and I love how it turned out. I decided not to do background because I couldn't think of a color that would not distract from the figure. So this is alcohol marker with Prismacolor on top, and I think this one turned out really cute, and I love her hair. It doesn't pick up on camera as well, but I think it turned out really pretty. And then here's another one from Mystic Art Mirrors. This is Rapunzel, and of course I had to do Rapunzel because she's my Disney spirit princess, and I pretty much am her, I don't know, but yeah. So this one was really fun, and I love how her hair turned out as well, and I just think this one turned out really cute and pretty. Also, Chameleon, oh no. And then we have this picture by Mariela Boudek. I saw this and knew straight away that I needed to color this because this was like my little boy. So I colored this with Polychromos and Albrechter watercolor pencils in the background, and I think this is one of the few PDFs I did this year that was strictly pencils. There's no watercolor alcohol marker underneath, so yeah, I need to do that more because I think it turned out really nice. And the Polychromos goes down so smoothly on this paper because it's pretty smooth. Alright, so now I have some WIPS, PDF WIPS. So this is an Merida from, also by Mystic Art Mirrors. And then this one is Mariela Boudek, one of her hair pictures. And this is a picture from Kelly O'Gorman's alphabet book, and I saw this and just fell in love because I am teaching my son the alphabet, and I thought this would be perfect because everything in the picture starts with that letter, so it's really helpful for identifying the letter sounds. And then this is Grazia Salvo from one of her books. I bought her PDF set that was both of them, so I can't remember which book this one in particular is from, but I love the way the flowers are turning out. I think it's going to be really pretty. And it's a color scheme that I typically don't do. It's, you know, more of a moody one. Here's a Jeremiah Kettner whip. The skin looks really blotchy because my alcohol marker was being weird, but I think once I shade it, it should be fine. And then these are letters from my Zendoodle alphabet. It is available on Amazon as a coloring book, but you know, because I drew it, I have access to the PDF. So there's letter A, B, C, and this is all colored with Crayola Super Tips and fine liners. B, E, oops, F, and G. So that's all that I've colored with the alphabet. And then this is, those are all ones that I did in this year. And then I don't remember what year I did this picture, but it's loose because I gave the book away and I had only colored one picture in here. I knew just with all the tiny details I wasn't likely to color much of the book, so that's why I gave it away. But I love how this one turned out. I think it's super whimsical and fun. The background is acrylic, and then this is Prismacolor, and then I did some what are they called? Fine liner markers for these little details. So yeah, there's that one. And then I have the next set of books is Coloring Heaven. So I have done a couple in the Halloween special from last year, which is issue 54. So when I got this issue, I saw this picture and immediately just was like, I need to color this. So I did, and I love how the colors turned out. I used the Albrechter watercolor pencils and like it's kind of a off-brand of the Posca pen for the white outlines. I haven't really found, it died on me shortly after. I haven't really found something that works like the Poscas I can't get to work for me. So if any of y'all have suggestions besides jelly rolls, let me know. And then this is a picture that I did this year during Halloween time, so in October. This is Albrechter watercolor pencils for her hair and her clothes and the roses, which I wanted to make dark roses because they are, like, their meaning is mysterious. And then I used the Fine Tech watercolors for the leaves and the thorns, and I think it turned out really pretty. And yeah, so that's Lemon Shortbread, and the other one was by Vanessa Yudomoto, so that's Halloween special. And then, funnily enough, in Bohemian Beauties, I also did a redhead with my Albrechter watercolor pencils. I think I did this one last year. I love the Mandala, wow, I cannot talk, the Mandala background. I did that with watercolor pencils, and I did her skin with polychromos, and it's not my favorite. It's kind of murky, muddy. So that's one thing that I really wanted to work on this year, was improving skin tones and being less intimidated by them. Also, oh, I love that crinkle. Ah, I think that's why I use my watercolor pencils so much in these books, because you get just like that satisfying crinkle. Okay, and then Cutesy Christmas Special. This is in my December finished pages. This is the Cutesy Christmas Special from this year, and I did this Advent. I have a confession. I did not color every single day. I started on day one and then just completely fell off track. So I actually just sat down and did it in a couple different settings to finish it. But I love how it turned out. I wanted to make it look like it was old and vintage and like all yellowed, and I think it worked. And I don't know if it's picking up, but I used glitter gel pen on the numbers just for that added little extra touch. And for the colors, I used some super tip markers for the border, and then polychromos to shade, and then everything else is with watercolor. I got this tin off of AliExpress, and the pigments are super vibrant, like pretty pigmented. So yeah, I love how that one turned out. And then some of my other special books. So one of my goals this year was to color in books that intimidated me, and I finally, at the end of the year, started in Momo Girl. This is Girls with Music, and I started, this is just a WIP for now, but I started this one. That's the important thing. And I love how her hair is. It's like this pastel pink ombre, and then her skin I just started on, and it's still pretty washed out, so I think I need to add a couple more layers, but so far I'm loving how it turned out. And I saw this picture and fell in love because I started dyeing yarn this year, so it was kind of a nod to that as well. So there's this picture in Momo Girl, and then another WIP in Handbook Fairy Tales. This has been a really long WIP. I need to get back to it because it'll be so pretty when it's finished, but This is with Polychromos. I've done her outfit, started on her hair. I need to figure out, so I'm gonna look up, because these hair ornaments are certain colors, I think. So I'm gonna look those up to get those right. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to do a gold frame or if I want to do like a jade looking one. So if you guys have any input on that, let me know. And then another super long whip is in Colin Thompson's coloring book. This is one of the first books that I bought when I really started getting into coloring. And I started on this page and I thought, oh, I would do one little scene a month, but I've only done 3. So I think that's, I might make it next year's goal to finish this spread. I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, there's more than 12 little sections, but if I do a couple of these a month, then I can finish it and have something to show for it, because I think it's going to be so pretty when it's done. And then another whip that I have is on this page, and this one's taking a long time because I went in with dark blue over all these cracks, because he has the cracks in there, and I decided I wanted to do that too, so yeah, so it took a really long time, and I need to just get back and finish it. I think it's gonna be really pretty when it's done. I'm gonna use some of my Fine Tech watercolors for embellishments. I think that'll be so pretty. And then Forest Girls coloring book. This is the second volume. I've done 3. So I did this one this year with my Albrechter watercolor pencils. And I love how this one turned out. I think the trees in the background, just everything turned out really pretty. And I think it's fun to see like how she colors it and then how I color it. It's very different. Like she has very like, she has more muted, well, I don't know. Her color schemes are a lot different. I have lots of like, boom, color. This is the first picture that I did in this book. I used my watercolors, and I love how painterly it is. And then I also, I think last year is when I did this one, I used my Albrechter watercolor pencils, and it was so fun. I'm sorry if this is jiggling a lot. I don't know why it's doing that. So yeah, I loved making up this little ocean scene and just coming up with the colors. It's really fun to work on. So that's in Forest Girl. And then in the Ink House, I got this book this year, so I did this page, and I'm trying to decide if I just want to use ink tints, but I wanted to try doing 3 different kinds of metals. So I have like gold, and then kind of like a bronzy or brassy copper, and then silver. I think the silver turned out really cool. So this is one I'm coloring in order. So the second page that I did is also in ink tints, and it's this spiral staircase. And so sorry about the jiggle. But yeah, I looked at this one for a really long time, trying to figure out where, you know, what everything was and where everything was supposed to go. But it's worth it because I think it turned out really cool. So that's in the Ink House. And then Forest Girl, the first one, I've done a couple. This one I did last year, and the watercolor pencils don't work as well on this one because the paper is really smooth, so it kind of pills a lot. So it was really hard to get like super detailed, but I think it still turned out cute. And then the first picture that I started coloring in here is still a WIP. So this is like 2 or 3 years old, but this is the scene. I really just need to color these pictures on the wall, and that's it. But I think it's a pretty picture. Okay, so now let's do my small books. This mini pushing book is a very important book because when I lost my coloring mojo this year, it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna color something super simple, and it's what helps me like get back into wanting to color some of my other books. So this is one of the pictures that I did. So I just straight colored with alcohol markers, nothing fancy. It was just fun, no pressure, and I did quite a few. This I think I did a long time ago, but most of these other ones are from this year. I think this one turned out so cute. But yeah, this was really nice to help me get back into coloring. So that's the mini pushing coloring book. And then in Winter Dreams, I finally decided I need to color a picture in here. So this is one that I'm working on. I added glitter gel pen, and then this is Inktense in the background with Jelly Roll gel pen and some glitter gel pen on the bird, if you can see that. So that's really fun. And then in Enchanted Faces, I've done probably the most in this book. Some are from this year. Let's see. So I did this picture a while ago. I love the colors in that one. This is when I first got alcohol markers and I was practicing with them. I think her hair is really pretty, and the little tiger. This is an earlier piece, and this is an early one as well. Most of these are water-based marker and then pencil on top. This one I did this year, and I love her colorful hair. And let's see, there's another one right there. I think I did this one last year. I love the just really soft color palette. There's another one. So I love this book because it just was really fast to color, and it looks so great, and you can just practice different color schemes. This is another one from this year. I love the color of her hair. I think it's really pretty. And here's another earlier one. And WIP. I'm afraid of ruining this one because I love her hair so much. And then, yeah, this is from last year, I think. So that one's a fun one to look at. And then my Hannah Carlson books, I have a few. Done this one. Let's see. So this is from a previous year. This reminded me a lot of Jane Austen. So that's Prismacolor and watercolor pencil. And let's see. Oh, this is an earlier one that I did as well. It was a limited color palette. I added glitter to the background for effect and limited myself, I think, to 5 colors. And that was a really fun challenge. I could only limit myself to 5. Like, I can only do that many. I wanted to do 3, but that was too little. So this is Magical Dawn. I have a WIP in this one, which is this. I scanned a collage that I did and printed it out, and then I cut out the silhouette of this perfume jar. I really just need to finish it. I'm so close. And then I did this double page spread a while ago. This is an acrylic background, and then Prismacolor. And I love the colors in this one. I wanted to do like a rainbow fish. Love the colors. I think this is one of the few coloring chats that I have on my channel. I don't have very many of those. Let's see, is that everything? I think so. Let me double check. Yeah. Okay, that's in Magical Dawn. And then in Seasons, I have done a couple. One of them is from this year. Let's see. Yeah, so I did this one this year. This is The Witch. I used mostly Inktense, and I believe I just added shading in a few places with Prismacolor. But I love how the leather armor hat turned out. And then another page that I did with Inktense, Inktense and watercolor pencils, I believe, is this fox. This was, I think last year, and I think it turned out really pretty. I love the contrast of the colors. Here's one of the first pictures that I did in this book. Very autumny. So I have done a lot of the autumnal pictures in here. In fact, yeah, I think this is the only spring one that I've done, and this is probably my #1 favorite spread ever. This is Polychromos, and I spent so much time on this, and it just makes me happy to look at every single time that I see it. Okay, let's see, 2 more Hannah Carlson books. So we have Summer Nights, and I've only done a couple. Yeah, so this one is from last year. This is Inktense with Polychromos. So I did all of the main image with Polychromos, and I think this bird turned out really pretty. At the time, I was really proud of this background, but I feel like it kind of like takes away from the bird, but I still think it's a really pretty color combination. So yeah. And then I did this with the Albrechter watercolor pencils. This is when I first got them, and I was just experimenting and playing with them, and just wanted to do something quick and whimsical. And then in Daydreams, I have done the most Hannah Carlson pictures in this book. A couple are from this year. This is a WIP that I've had going on for a while. I need to finish that one. I try not to have too many WIPs. This is one that I did a long time ago. I didn't really do anything with the background because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it. This is one of the earlier pictures that I've done, and I love this rainbow background with so the birds were inspired by the Dutch china. That's like blue and white. So that's what that color scheme is inspired by. Here is a fun double page spread I did. This was a color your own or design your own. So I used washi tape and then used some of the same colors to color this one in. And then the background is metallic acrylic paint, which is fun. And then this one I used Prismacolor for the shells and watercolor for the background. And I just wanted a monochromatic scene. That's one of the earlier pictures that I've done in here. Let's see. This one is from this year. I used the Erogetin pencils and Inktense in the background, and there's that crinkle again. But I really like this color scheme. It's something I typically don't do super muted colors, but I thought it fit the mood of the cloudy sky everything. So there's that one. Here's, so I did this picture, I colored this picture, and while I was coloring this one, I was inspired to color this one. I like tried to hurry and finish this one so I could do this one, and I used similar colors. It's starting to rub off, so I think I need to start putting protective paper in between. This is a page that I did this year. One thing that I want to do is do a page with like monochromatic for one color in each color in this book. So this is purple, and I did this year, and it was really fun to do. It's kind of a fun challenge because it's like I try to get enough contrast between the different purples so the different elements stand out. This is from a different year. This was red. That was really fun to do. This was, I think, the very first picture that I colored in this book that made me fall in love with Hannah Carlson. Her art. So yeah. And this was just with some budget pencils. And then this, it looks like I colored them at the same time, but actually I colored this one a long time ago. And then I colored this one this year. And this is with Polychromos, and I did this with Prismacolor because I wanted to see how closely I can match colors with a different set. And I think it's pretty close. There's like some subtle differences like with the greenery, but I think it still was really pretty and turned out. And then here we have blue, all the different blues, and then her skin is like a bluish tint to it. And I think the nameplate page was, I think, the first page that I colored with Polychromos. And it was perfect because there were so many different elements to practice with. And you can tell from some of my later pictures that I've gotten so much more comfortable with how Polychromos work. So that's all of my Hannah Carlson books. I think I'll finish my hardback books and then make a part 2 because we're getting a little lengthy here. So this is Magical Delights, I believe is this one. And I've done a few. So I did this one this year. This is with the Albrechter watercolor pencils and the Jelly Roll gel pen. This was just a really fun, springy, happy, bright one that I did. And then I did this. This is, I think, the first picture that I colored with ink tint. So this would have been from last year. And then, oh, I'm missing one. Where did that other one go? Oh, it's, no. Why? Sorry about the jiggle. Oh, it's over here. I did this one this year. And this is the first time that I like found a color palette online as inspiration for the color palette for the page. So I used Prismacolor for the pink castle and for the flowers and the background with like a really faint bokeh in the background. You can't really see it. And then I used Fine Tech and glitter silver gel pen for the silver embellishments on the book. And then in Tenderful Enchantments, I've done a few. So this is one I did this year. This is with the Albrechter watercolor pencil. No, it's Inktense. Inktense for the greenery, and then Albrechter watercolor pencil for the background, which I love, like this yellow to pink background. You will see it a couple more times probably. And sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice. Then the berries and the house is Prismacolor pencil. And then, so that was one that I did this year. This is one from the past. This was a color experiment that did not go well, but I think it's still cool in its own right, and that I just had fun experimenting. And then this is one from last year as well. I love this one. I wanted to make a pink mushroom. And this is Inktense and Polychromos, I believe, and Prismacolor. So I didn't really start mixing what pencils I used until last year. The year before, I just used, if I colored a page, it was just Polychromos or just Prismacolor. Last year was when I really started saying, well, I like this green from this one and this purple from this one. So that's Tenderful Enchantments. And then Fairy Miracles. This is the last Flora book that I have. I did not get Fairy Celebrations in time before it wasn't available. And I've just been watching Amazon like a hawk for when they are able to finally sell it again in the States. But this is the first page that I colored in here with Prismacolor, and I was really proud of it when I did it, and I still am. I think it turned out really quite pretty, and I love the background. And then this is when I first got my watercolor pencils, and I just had fun experimenting with them. And so yeah, that's from a while ago. I don't know if I finished any in here this year. I know I started one. This is the one that I started this year. And I just really have just a few small details and it'll be done. But I love how it's turning out so far. Okay, we're almost there. Which is good because I'm going to lose my voice. And I'll do part 2 with like all my square books and my Amazon paper books. So this is Sagarok Sagner. And I've done a few in here. I have one WIP, which is right here. It's this cool snake. It's been a WIP for a while. I just need to get it done. I almost got it done this year and then got distracted by a different page. And then I did this one. I wanted to do, I just want to make sure, yeah. I just wanted a straight color, but still like have gradients and contrast. And so I just had a lot of fun with this one, and I think it turned out really cool. It's very different. And I did this one, so I haven't colored in this one this year, which is really sad because this is one of my favorite books. So this is all Prismacolor, and I love colors in this one. Yeah, just super bright and bold. Okay, now we're on to Maria Troll. This is the last of the books that I'll do in this video. So this is Droomrace. I don't know if that's how you say it. I love this book, and it's hard to come by now. So this is a picture that I did last year with Albrechter watercolor pencils, and funnily enough, I've noticed all the little houses that I do are blue. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the house that I grew up in was blue. But I love the just bright, fun, whimsical colors. And this is one that I did last year as well with Albrechter watercolor pencils. And I love these leaves. See, there's the blue house again. And a blue little sprite. And then I feel like, do I have another one in here? I have not. I love this book. I need to color in it more. In Twilight Garden, I have done a few. Twilight Garden, I didn't really like as much. I do like a lot more now. This is a very early coloring that I did with Prismacolor. At the time, I was really proud of it, but I feel like now I would color it a little bit differently, but that's okay because it's all about the journey. This is also a very early picture that I did for, I think, was it Katrine? There's a very beloved colorist who passed away, and everybody colored a page as a tribute, so that's what that's from. This is from last year with Prismacolor, and I love these bright colors. I think this picture is so cute. I love all the little foxes in her books. This is one that I colored this year with my Erosion pencils. And it's just really simple flower mandala, and I think it is really pretty and sweet, and it didn't really take that long to do. And then this is another one that I did this year when I first started getting my coloring mojo back. And I think it was just Prismacolor. And yeah, you can tell that I use a lot of blue. Alright, and then in Nightfall, I have several. This one is one of the earlier books that I got. And this is a picture that I did last year. I love the black background, like how bold and contrasty it is. That was with Prismacolors. And then this is a WIP. I don't know if I've ever showed this, but it's been a long, ongoing WIP. I need to get it finished so I can do other pictures in this book. Here's one of the first pictures that I colored in here. You can tell I've gotten a lot better at shading and just like picking colors in general. Let's see. There's one. Oh yeah, I love this one. This is a Peony with Prismacolor, and this one was super fast to color, and I love the colors in it. Oh, and then I did this one this year. This is, I think, Polychromos for the Magnolias. And then I did an acrylic background, and I wanted to make it look like it was like a crushed velvet. And I think it turned out pretty cool. And I love feeling it because it's like smooth and rough. So yeah, that's in Nightfall. And then I have one in Botanicum. I think I just have to do a couple finishing details. It's this one with the tulips, because I love tulips, and I just think this girl is so cute, and I am excited to color more. I love this book a lot, actually. So I need to get back into this book. This is with Prismacolor, as you can tell, because it's smudged. So I gotta see if I can erase that off. You can't see it as well on camera, but there's a nice big purple smear. And last, we have Flora by Mariela Boudek. And I did the nameplate page with my Tombow Rochetin. Oh, sorry about that, Jill. The Tombow Rochetin pencils. And I think it turned out very nice. You can't really see, but there is fur on the kitty. And yeah, it's just a very soft, subtle nameplate page. It was really fun to do. So I'm gonna end, and I will do a part 2 because I'm losing my voice and want you to be able to hear me for my other pages. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Happy coloring!